Shalom, shalom. This Yair from GMS Savannah, coming with another lesson. But first and foremost, I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rikakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders, the elder bishops, great millstone, which rule well and teach well, and to the Arkham as well as the affiliate, pushing his 100% truth and sincerity while risking their life to do so. And salutations to the hopeful lack of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as you speckled birds scattered amongst the heathens that have the appearance of the heathens, but your father's seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also referred to as Israelite foreigners. But this next lesson I'm going on into is 2025 Babylon is circling the drain, and it's about over. And you can tell on this video right here, that's what's going on. And it's coming to the end. We're almost there. And you can see the times that's going on. And you can see in this little quick video, this is what's going on in Babylon the Great. You know, it won't come back. This is about it. And like I say, you see what's all going on right now. Everything is crazy right now. You know, you put that spirit of vengeance out here, man. It's a lot of deletions going on. You know, it's a lot of turmoil going on. You know, storms, earthquakes, and hey, man, the Lord is visiting this place, man. You know what I'm saying? It's visiting this place, man. You know, you got all kind of stuff going on around the world. You know, these wars and little stuff that's going on. You know, and it's a lot going on. You know, the thrill is gone in Babylon the Great. The thrill is gone. Everything's so expensive. People bugged out. You know, from the juicy juice. And it's gonna really, you know, get worse and worse. You know, the famine coming. Not, you know, the word and the food. You know, the storehouses are gonna be empty. It's a lot worse that's coming. You know, females out here with no husband. You know, no covering. But if you don't have that hedge of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai over you in these times of Jacob's trouble to come, you're gonna be bugged out here. Not only bugged out, you're gonna be cardinal. Just like the YNs up in Chicago. Hey, keep that energy. Because you got to remember, Sleazy was given he was given that gift. You know what I'm saying? From Isaac. He's a cunning hunter. They extraordinary with the sword. So you want to deal with Sleazy with their gift that they have, go right ahead and be cardinal, Jay. It ain't gonna end well for you at all. That's being cardinal. But a lot of that's 2/3 anyway, and like I say, a lot of them are gonna be moved out of the way anyway. So, it's still all part of the movie, and we see it as being part of the Old Select. We just sit back and just see how things are occurring here in Babylon. All these different situations on trains and everything, and it's just so much going on right now in Babylon, man. This place is being visited, turmoil everywhere, and like I say, the thrill is gone out of Babylon. The thrill is gone. It won't snap back. This is it. And that's the old song goes back in the 80s. This is it. I just want to let you know. Hey, this is it. It's about over. And right here, Amos 6:1, it say, woe to them that are in East and Zion, and trust in the Mount Samaria, which are named chief of the nation, to whom the house of Israel came. And like I say, this is, you being here at ease, it ain't gonna happen, Jake. Everything is, all the jobs and everything are closing. All the females, losing their jobs. Like I say, Micah 2:10, this ain't our resting place, man. This is not our resting place here in Babylon. Our people got to understand that, hey, man, that's why we seek Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because everything, the turmoil is about to really start here in Jacob's trouble, And like I say right here, I'm going to go right here to Proverbs 2:6. For the Lord have given wisdom out of his mouth, knowing and understanding. And that's these scriptures, man. These living water scriptures, man. You're going to know what's going on. Being a hopeful elect, we see what's going on. We are woke, as they say. We see what's going on. We sit back and we blowing the trumpet. We try to warn our people on the highways and hedges. But, our people don't want to stop and listen to us. But, hey, sooner or later, that famine of the word is coming. And, hey, you're going to be stuck like Chuck then. You're going to be really screwed. We out on the highway, really trying to find the hopeful elect that he is, the sheep will hear the word through us, from the Lord, so we're out, seeking the lost sheep of Israel. But a lot of those are 2/3 that just keep walking by. But that's fine though, because when this famine of the word comes, it's over. We just trying to warn people that, Babylon the Great is not snapping back. It's circling the drain. And right here, Romans 13:11. And knowing the time, and that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. And that, like I say, that's what we believe. We seeing things are being sped up by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We going out here and doing the work on the highways and hedges. I'm trying to warn our people. We doing these videos trying to warn our people. hey, we just doing what we supposed to do, man. We about our Father's work. That's what we doing, man. We trying to warn our people. But hey, no name, no salvation. We trying to tell the people the name, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and we just trying to warn them that Jacob trouble is coming soon. Sleazy about to roll on y'all, man. You know, he gonna roll on all of us. You know what I'm saying? So hey, we just ready for everything to go ahead and jump off, man. You know, the quicker everything jump off, man, the quicker, you know, things can go ahead and move, man. Because it's the, you know, his bounds about to the end. You know, Sleazy, he got bounds that he cannot pass. So we just hoping everything just go ahead and kick off. We waiting for that day, and whatever happens, but we gonna keep that faith of Yahweh Shem Yahushai when that time comes. We already know what's coming for us, and we know what's going to be the end game. You know, we're going to win at the end. So, but like I say, we just doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushai right now. So, like I say, we already know we gonna still get the win. We gonna go through whatever we got to go through, but it's all good. You know, this is time sensitive. This message. You know, hey man, we trying to get that crown, man. We trying to get on them chariots. So, like I say, that's why we try to warn our people, man. You know, y'all still going to them churches. You know what I'm saying? But see, y'all going to go right off the cliff with them false prophets. You know? The Lord don't dwell in those temples made with hands. But y'all won't listen to us, though, you know? But it's all good, though. Keep calling on Jeebus and all them other, you know, fake gods y'all call on. You know, you'll see. You'll see. And so we just waiting till that time when everything jump off. You know what I'm saying? You know, when the charagma, when that jumps off, you know, the MOTB, we can't wait. We can't wait. We try to warn y'all, but a lot of people are asleep. You know, but that's being in them churches. That's what them pastors are meant to do, is keep y'all asleep with that 501(c)(3). So hey, like I say, a lot of people just gonna go off right off the cliff with those pastors, man. You know, those greedy dogs. And we can't wait. You know? We can't wait. And like I say, even like on the video, you know, you seen some celebrities, and you know what it say in Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of the wrath, but the wrath is delivered from death. And that's what it's going to be all about. See, everybody out here with, you know, y'all money and all this, that ain't going to profit in the day of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, the hopeful elect will be the ones, man, because like I say, we've got that hedge of Yahweh Shem Yahushai over us, man. We've been doing everything to our best of our ability, man. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, we know the true names. We know the strong tower. And like we always say, hey, no name, no salvation. You know, and we try to warn our people. But our people just continue to walk by. But sooner or later, we're not going to be on the highways ahead. You ain't going to be able to find us. This message is time sensitive. You know, we just trying to warn y'all everything that's going on. You know, all these situations that's going on here in Babylon, man, is getting set up for Jacob's trouble. You know, that charagma, MOTB, you know, that C-hip, everything is right behind the corner. It's being sped up every day, every minute. Things are starting to get it's going to get real. You know, Sleazy, you finna get ready to roll. You finna get ready to roll, man. You finna come with his wrath. You finna go all gas and no brakes. I'm telling you. Trying to warn y'all. You know, like I say, I hope this lesson was edifying to the Ophel sheep and lamb. Kwon Yasharala. Tawada Yahweh Shem Yahushai. On to the next lesson. Shalom.